What they do, y'all.
Yes.
How y'all doing out there?
Ooh.
Hopefully you all are doing well.
Doing great.
You all had a positive week,
Yes.
a productive week,
Ooh,
right?
Yes.
Right?
I'm over here like, yes.
She in a good mood.
It is December.
But y'all just don't know what I
Yes.
had to go through for the last 3 days.
What you?
I'm talking about with you.
I know who you talking about.
Okay.
I know who you talking about.
So we back with a banger.
Hey.
We back with another one.
Hi, everyone.
Today is positive.
Yes.
We coming with a positive.
Yes.
We coming with something energetic,
Okay,
energy
yes.
type mindset.
All right.
Building, blocks, right?
Come
so
on now.
what we got for
Let's
them
keep
today,
elevating. Let's keep growing. Let's keep growing.
T? So what we got, T?
So today, the power of positivity.
The power of positivity.
Yes. Come on now. Let's keep moving on up. All right.
What they do. This your boy DP.
This your girl T.
And we're the Geminis Gemz, representing for the Geminis across the world, giving our own Miami perspective.
For sure. So
you can follow us on all podcast platforms at Geminis-Gems.
Also follow us on Instagram, Geminis_Gems, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Geminis Gems.
Hey, make sure you like, follow, you comment, and you subscribe.
Yes.
And make sure when you type it in, it's Geminis with the S, Gems with a Z. And what we do, T?
Drop them gems.
Drop them gems. So we back, y'all.
Hello.
What's up, tribe?
All
right, I
right.
forgot to acknowledge you all, right?
Yes.
Aces and Jewels, right?
Yes.
So we back with another one. And today's topic, as T said earlier, the power of positivity.
Yes.
Right?
Hello.
So how you going to start it, T?
So I want to start it off with a question.
Okay.
So my first question is, what are you thinking about most of the time?
Me, personally, again, family,
Okay.
making more money,
All right.
and kind of like building wealth. Well, not kind of building wealth for my family and I, right?
All right.
Relationships, trying to have this understanding of being in this world with people.
Okay.
And whatever comes my way, I just want to learn how to understand it and, grow and move on and be a positive person, What about you, T?
So for me, what I think most of the time, to be honest, outside of family, outside of relationships, it's just to be successful and money in my account.
Right.
I love everything that you said, but most of my time, I'm like, T, what you got to do, girl? What you got to do better today? After the talk you got with your brother, after the talk you got to do with this person, all different angles coming everywhere, different things going on. What you need to do? And I'm just like, okay, just do it. And the reason why I asked you that question, or even for the viewers also, and when you sit back, like, you know what do you think about most of the time? And the reason why I asked that is because the positive thinking.
Right.
So the positive thinking comes with, my opinion, leadership, comes with being confident, comes with your life, even for you to be organized, brings happiness, brings also inspiration. So when I ask that question, what do you think about most of the time, is mainly to say, you know what, most likely people also think about what they want and how to get it.
Right.
And so if you that person that you know what you want, people think about their goals, people think about their priorities, people think about the actions and activities. So if you have something positive in your mind, especially knowing that what you want, I feel that the way you think and being positive also shows that as well, versus someone who probably not to say the word unsuccessful, or probably the person who probably don't have any goals, probably not doing anything with their lives. In my opinion, those could be the people who sit around to be angry. You sit around to be probably negative because you don't have a drive. You don't have nothing to make you get up, to be happy, to be positive, for you to keep going. So if you are the opposite, like, you know what, I ain't got nothing going for myself. Guess what? Let me just go on social media and downplay somebody else. Or let me keep nitpicking at people to just be negative because you have nothing else good that you to accomplish. So if you have too much time on your hand, you probably thinking about all of the blaming or what's not going right in your world. It's just, hey, if you have goals to go, it's like, hey, what, like us, you know, hey, we got goals, we gotta do what you gotta do. You gotta be positive. You can't be negative. If you negative, you'll sink, you'll drown. So that was just how I wanted to start it for that. What you got?
What I was thinking about, as I was thinking about the topic, actually, I feel like I believe the Spirit of God gave me this. Having a goal without going, that's the issue. You get what I'm saying? So you have a goal, you set your mind up to be whatever you want to be, right? You can be a technician, an electrician, right? But if you don't get up and go to class, right, you're not going to accomplish that goal, right? You gotta study hard, right? You gotta read material, try not to get electrocuted, right? You
don't
get what I'm saying,
right?
So you have to constantly work at that goal that you want to accomplish, right? So sitting around and not doing anything, right, can trigger or allow someone to become negative, right? Because I see it like this: as let's say we're racing, right, and we're training, right. So I'm gonna put it like this: in the streets, right. When I was young, when I would go to the park, some guys will want to race, right. Some guys were like literally running every day, all the time. And then it's that one cat that was on the court that'll be like, bro, I can beat all y'all in racing. Right? I got y'all.
You always had that one person.
You know, this person is out of shape, never been on the basketball court, but barely can run up and down. Now he's getting ready to race. So imagine the whole block of kids line up, right? And everyone takes off.
All right.
Right? Now. So as they're taking off, the one that was talking all that noise, making all this noise about how he can beat everybody. Now the guy that's the most fittest, the fastest, right? He wins.
Of course.
The other ones that were on the basketball court, were training, were, just being, let's say, being active physically, right? So they're like second place, third place, fourth place. Now, the guy that did all that talking, right? He's in last place.
Ooh.
And what happens is that's what happens in life because we are not training or conditioning ourselves to accomplish getting to the finish line. We end up getting left behind.
Facts.
You get what I'm saying?
Facts.
And that person in the back, the one that was talking all the noise, had a positive, let's say, outcome within himself, right? I can do this, but then reality set in. Right.
Got you.
Reality set in. Now he becomes negative. Oh, y'all cheated. You get what I'm saying? Y'all
blame others. He pointing the fingers now.
You get what I'm saying? So that's what tends to happen because they never worked at it. He wasn't on the court. And sometimes what happens is when people finish the race, what you do after the race. It's not like he's going to say, well, shoot, I lost that, but next time, let me go back.
Let me go practice more.
Right. Let me go back and train and condition myself. So at least if I'm not the fastest, right, I could be one of the ones that's in second and third place. Right. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
That's what I have with that.
All right.
Oh, you got some more?
So, because also what came to mind when I was like, hey, repeat positivity, because if you don't repeat positivity, if you don't do this every single day, it's like you take 2-3 steps forwards, and then as soon as you stop, what we do, we tend to do 7-10 steps backwards. And you have to basically discipline yourself. And once you actually say, you know what? And again, for me, it's so easy for me to be positive most of the time. I'm not perfect, of course, but most of the time you're going to get my positivity vibe. It's because that's a part of me. Because that's what I believe in. That's my core value in life. It's just, why not? And it's also like the power of the words, the power of your words. Also, you put out in the universe, you receive it back too. So it's also what you attract. So thoughts become things, one of the secrets of life, and also your words. So if you continue to be positive, most likely you're going to receive it in return, not 100%, but as soon as you stop, guess what? That's automatically fail that you're going to receive negativity. So I'm just on team positivity. That's all.
Right. So what I put down is, what do you do when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed?
What do I do?
No, just follow me.
Okay.
So what is it that you do when you wake up on the wrong side of the bed?
Okay.
Being, that's a figurative of speech, right? So also I put things aren't going the way that you imagine. Blaming yourself for things that is going wrong, forgiving, right?
Yep.
Getting stuck in traffic, but blaming everybody, moving slow, right? But then not realize you were slow to get up. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
So what do we do in these conditions, right? How do we turn that negative into positive, right? How do we look at things halfway full instead of halfway empty? Right. So I'm just throwing that out there so we can expound on that.
Okay. So for me, because we're human, right? Anytime that I have a bad day and there's some cloudy days, for me, I have to start my day by my motivationals, my devotionals, because I need to have someone or something to go ahead and fill that cup back up with something positive, because my mind is foggy. So if I'm not able, in a state of mind current, that I'm not positive, I'm not my best self, I'm not in that center stage, I need to hear things to reassure me that, you know what, T, snap out of it, because you got to keep moving forward. So that's why I'm a believer, like, you know what we listen to also is who you are. So even for me, like, my kids might think I'm bored, and they be like, what is we listening to? Joel Osteen, TD Jakes, some gospel music. You need it in the midst of it, because my mind is foggy, but I can't lash out on my kids. I can't lash out on anyone else because I'm having a messed up day where I woke up on the side of the bed, but I choose to do that. And life is about choice, and everything is mental state. So if you wake up on the side of the bed and you choose to stay there, you choosing to be negative. And what happens when you're negative? Negative things tend to come back, because that's what you produce to the universe. You might start off and now you being negative to people, but guess what? It's going to come back to you. So it's just, for me, it's choices.
Gotcha. So some of the things you mentioned, well, one of the things that you mentioned was going to sleep.
Okay.
I mean, waking up on positivity, right?
Yes.
And what I have to say with that, it's not just about waking up and then introduce yourself to the positive. It's also how you go to sleep. You get what I'm saying? So the way that you go to sleep, if you're going to sleep on let's say the worst of the worst, because your day wasn't the best, and you don't conclude that uneasiness, you get what I'm saying? How are you going to change it when you go home? So that's the reason of bringing up, the elements of that we don't even consider, waking up on the wrong side of the bed, but how are we going to sleep at the same time?
Hello.
So like if I have a bad day, right? If I come home, I try to turn that into a smile, right? I try to turn that into something more, again, positive. So I may watch something funny.
Yeah.
I may want to talk about, the birds and the bees. You get what I'm saying? Or something that would intrigue my mind to take me out of that rut that I may be in, right?
The birds and the bees.
Right. Yes. So I was thinking about that, because not just waking up and indulging yourself, let's say, like having a taste for the Joel Osteens or the TD Jakes, waking up, but going to sleep is also what you should do too.
Okay.
So you can have a better rest.
Right.
Because the mind is running basically, I would say 24/7, especially if you're alive, but within your 16 hours of being up, your mind is running constantly, trying to organize, get this done, have to think about that, forgot this, and go back and get that.
Right.
Since, getting stuck in traffic, you're frustrated because you ain't get there on time, whatever it may be.
Right.
And as these challenges come your way, you got to learn how to have a paradigm shift. You have to learn how to think differently in the process. That's one of the things I'm working on now. Okay. Before the year ends, so next year I can kind of not, I would say, perfect it, but learn how to indulge myself into turning my mindset into something better.
Got you.
More, let's say, privy to being a positive or just a good, like, happy person.
Right.
Because of the things I see. Now I have a different mindset too because of my job.
Yes.
But outside of that, there's some things that comes with that, some demons that comes with that. And with that, I have to learn how to just turn that right side up.
Right.
So you said too, you mentioned choices. And I was just at the barber, and the barber said, it's no longer choices. Right.
Ooh, okay.
It's only options out here.
Ooh.
So you have so many things to select from. So you have the option to turn it right side up or to stay right there in that rut.
Right.
So
it's option and
it's
choice.
The same thing. It's the same. It's basically the same. But that's how they was explaining it. They was talking about financial stuff, so that's what they were saying. So you're not just limited to the choices that's on the paper. Now you have many more options. Once you turn that paper over, switch the page.
Hello.
Right. So that's what they were really talking about. So, I thought about that too, to give yourselves different outlooks on the matter.
Right.
These are not just the choices that you have. You have many more options. You get what I'm saying? You have many more. It's not just A through D. You get what I'm saying? And all of the above. I remember some questions used to be to E. You get what I'm saying?
I remember those. Gotta sit there, bubble it in. And,
right. So some questions even had E on there, right? But you have way more, let's say, options to select from when it's coming down to switching over into the paradigm shift, like switching over your mindset. Right. So I just give an example, right?
Okay.
So you had use general, something we all go through.
All right.
You had a bad day. Now you left from maybe missing your appointment.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Not making it on time to work, right?
Right.
Getting demoted at the job. I'm not going to talk too deep into, you getting fired from the job. You did something. But let's say
some extra money came out of the account that you just forgot about. You ain't log it in or something.
Something. Right. And then too, what I was going to say was your check was supposed to be deposited on Thursday, right? But now you have to wait till Monday. You get what I'm saying?
Negative.
So we run into issues like this. Not saying I even have it perfect, right? Yeah. But when we run into it, how can we change it into us saying, well, you know what? At least I can wait till Monday. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
At least I can, I can figure it out.
I have an answer to that too.
Right. So also too with, anything that's transpiring throughout the day, like how are we changing it from the negative to the positive without,
go ahead,
without substance.
Right.
One,
of course.
Right. And without carrying it over to the next day.
Right. So just for me to just cut it right then and there, I have to tell myself, T, is your life in danger?
Okay.
And for me, if your life is not in danger, guess what? It's going to be okay.
Okay.
All this anxiety or unnecessary stress, because life happens at the end of the day. And so for some people who probably don't even know how to handle situations that just happen, because things happen. So for me, and I'm learning, because again, especially when you have friends in this field, when your career is in this field, you kind of just ask the simplest things. Is your life in danger? Stop what you're doing. Guess what? Them bills go get paid. Okay, do you have a roof over your head? Are you able to eat a peanut butter jelly, applesauce, yogurt? Are you able to eat noodles? Are you able to put something in your body? You probably ain't what you want, but are you still able to handle today? And guess what? Like you stated, with the advice, what I tell my kids, at least compliment yourself before you go to bed. Do something for yourself before you go to bed, because that's what I do. I do that every single night. T, go do something for me, because everybody needs your time. Everybody wants your attention. Everybody needs something from you. But what are you doing for yourself during the day? So for me, in the evening, once my kids go to bed, my mama sleep. Oh, thank you. Go. Everybody sleep. For me, I'm like, you know what? Okay, now T can do whatever it is T can do. Okay, but I really encourage people to compliment yourself. Challenge that. Challenge yourself to compliment yourself every single night for the whole December, and see what happens in January. I'll say that.
Okay.
There you go.
So one of the things I know tomorrow isn't promised, right?
Right.
That's the word of God says, right? But I always say this too. Tomorrow is still there, right?
Okay.
So you always have tomorrow too.
Right.
So today may not be, so you can say a prayer, right?
Hello.
You can talk with friends to try to change it, and also to vent. You know,
of course.
Even if you have to go outside and yell.
Yes.
I always tell people too, you need a hobby.
Facts.
Right?
Facts.
To let's say relinquish yourself from whatever you are built up in. Right. So you need a hobby, a physical hobby that you do. Some people work out, some people go skating, some people paint, some people, sew, some people cook whenever they're frustrated, but something they can practice on the instrument or practice at doing something, but you always need something to, let's say, release yourself from whatever you're going through. And then, pray the prayer that you make it tomorrow and all in those things. And once Monday come, the money drop and now you're good. And sometimes the money can be held up. You got to see the positive even in that. Sometimes the money will be held up because they know it. God knows that what you're going to go through Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. You get what I'm saying? Where you're going to somebody end up calling you.
Yes.
Right.
It's going to get done.
No, what I'm saying is somebody can call you.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
And ask you for the money. And because you have a heart of giving, you'll end up giving them the money and forgetting that. You know what I'm saying?
You got X, Y, Z going on in your personal life.
Sometimes that can happen with certain people.
Listen, when it comes to these finances, I ain't getting my taxes yet. It is December 2022. I ain't getting mine yet this year. And here we are. We finna walk in 2023. And I'm like, God, why? This is my first year ever in my life that I never received my income tax. And I'm like, oh, that's a nice check. I could do X, Y, and Z. And I made a mistake. I count them eggs before they hatch. And that's why T in what she in. Because in my head, my tax is coming. I'm that person too. Okay.
Right.
And reality sunk in. And again, we in December and I'm like, where my money at? But now I'm kind of more responsible without it. Because now I'm on it. Now I'm on eggshells. Like, this penny got to go over here. This penny got to go over there.
Right.
People call it. I ain't got it. Guess what? I do not have it. And it really 2022. When it comes to finances, would it help me? I ain't got it. And for me to actually be still in my finances, what I'm at going on financially now, it humbles me. For me to actually be more available, I ain't gonna lie, to my kids. Because when you don't have the money, what you want for you to spend it on what you want, not the need. I'm talking about what the wants. When that bank account say you better sit your behind down, guess what? What T got to do? I'm going to my kids. They'll keep you up. They do here. We got to do. Guess what? My kids keep my mind off the finances. That mommy ain't got money to go do what she want to go do over there for me to leave y'all at home. Guess what? You stay behind home with the kids. So now, when I do probably get the money, guess what? I can save it.
No, you gonna go. You gonna make up for.
No, don't put that on me. Don't put that on me.
Well, we gotta learn after we learn or come into the knowledge of being positive, right? From, let's say, having a better outcome.
Okay.
Let me say it over.
All right.
So, what we should do afterwards of turning our negative into a positive situation is, once we get out of the rut or make it to the Monday, what are we doing afterwards, right? Are we preparing so that we won't have to wait on that Friday or for this situation to happen again?
Right.
So we don't have to wait on that Monday of our next payday. Or what preparations are we making before or I would say after the situation occurs.
Right.
Right. And I think that's one thing we have to indulge ourselves into. We have to learn how to prepare ourselves.
Right.
So that our situation can be better.
Yes.
And then we won't have to worry about, we know to stay positive because because when you have stuff, let's say you had X amount of dollars in your bank account, that income tax check wouldn't have been least of your worries. It would have just helped you. And that's what I always tell people this.
Yeah.
Income tax helps you. It's like a big savings account
It's supposed
for
to
the
be your
year.
savings account.
Right.
Right.
So I tell people that, it's supposed to help you catapult to the next level. It's not supposed to be
for you to spend it.
No, it's not supposed to be something you just to help put you back on. It should help you make you move forward.
But we're talking about humans, to where most people, when they get an income tax now, since we're on this topic, people invest more in their home. People might go on vacations. People might go get surgeries. People might go do things that they want to do most of the time versus the needs, meaning to save it. Home improvements, I get it. But when it comes to the wants, most people will use it on the wants versus the needs. Let me speak for myself. I'm learning to decrease the wants and increase the needs, because the needs will help me save the money for me, if that makes sense.
Right, but most women, they always gonna want. That's what I'm saying. So it doesn't matter. You can have less, you're gonna want more. You can have more, you're gonna want more.
Decrease the wants, though.
No, you're not.
It.
You're not.
It decreases.
In time, right? Once you probably hit the wall, you're still gonna want to get more.
Okay, but I have a question. I have a question. When it comes to the finances, do you feel that men will save? Who will spend more money, men or women? That's the first question. Women. I agree with the women, and the reason why, and I'm talking about with the ones. The reason why I say, excuse me. Also, the reason why I would say women too, especially when I'm again speaking for self, I'm putting the mirror in front of me. When you have kids, the mother would tend to spend more on the kids versus the father. Not all situations.
Yeah.
Most of the times, the mother would spend more on the kids. So I'm dishing out more. One, my kids live with me. Two, hey, what have the other halves, they blessed to do, they do. I'm not going to nag you. I'm not going to hound you. I'm not harassing you. But as a mom, single mom still, guess what? I have to dish out more because I'm hands on with the kids. The father in my head, again, experiences, put the mirror to my face, not going to care that, oh, you know, your birthday coming up, so let me go ahead and at least give you at least an extra 100, extra something. No. It's gonna be like, oh, okay, well, that's your birthday. Oh, it's just like hell. But I'm the mom. You know what? Your birthday coming up, girl, or little one. You know, gotta you spend more. The dads, the hell, like, oh, it's another day. I'm like, what? Okay, that's it. But I'm the one who's spending more.
Right? You know why?
Right.
Because the mom is finna do a birthday party. She got to get a special cake. She got to buy yeah.
My sister said, you know what? You built that. For my situation again, the mirror on my face, you created that. I was like, oh, I did. Because I'm just speaking on mine. Right. But I'm sure I'm not by myself.
It doesn't matter.
I ain't by myself.
Like I said,
mothers, women, we still gonna spend more money.
Like I said, you all going to do more.
We all going to do more,
right? So
to put happiness on others' faces.
No, you do it I believe you do it for yourself. Yes, you do self gratification. The reason why I say that is this. And then we're gonna get back. All right, y'all. Katerica, you know.
She always turn left.
Right.
Go ahead. Blame it on me. I love it.
But what I realize is with particular women, what they do is they instead of getting the 3 jeans that they went to go and purchase, they go get 7. And then depending on their moves, they may mess around and just return 1. Because instead of just keeping the 3 and taking back the 4, right? They're gonna return 1. So now they're walking around with 6 pair of jeans and saying, "Okay, Christmas I'm gonna wear this one, New Year's I'm gonna wear this one, and then Valentine's I'm gonna wear this one." No, you could wear the
same jeans. Hello,
and they do that also for the kids. You get what I'm saying? So if you shop, you're gonna overspend. You know, I remember one time somebody told me, "Yo, like, oh, I spent money on my child, right?"
Okay.
And come to find out, they spent like I think about $600 on their child, right? I said, "Did you look at their receipt and you sure you spent $600 on the child?"
And what happened?
They found out they spent $300 on the child, $350 on themselves.
Oh, out of the $600.
And spend $200 on the child and still didn't get all what the child needed.
Because you put yourself into the equation.
And this is what I'm saying. So going back, Going back. Staying on positivity.
Yes.
Right?
We're going back.
Preparing yourself.
Yes.
Right? So after the fact, after the negative day, out of the money not being in place, right? We go back to learning how to, let's say, prepare ourselves for the worst again, so that we won't get into the rut again. You get what I'm saying?
Got to cut back.
Right. But then the thing is, we have to do a self-evaluation, you know, to your point. We have to do a self-evaluation to allow ourselves to know, like, okay, I got to do better. You know, I messed up.
Yes.
I won't. And then I think what happens is once you become more accountable for yourself, then you understand, like, okay, I can't do that no more because last time I messed up.
Yeah.
You know, it wasn't the kids, because that's what I believe the women do that. The women will say, well, it's the kid. No, it was you. You get what I'm saying? Or the father may say, hey, man, sure, I saw those Jordans and I went ahead and spent the bill money or gambling, whatever his habit may be.
Okay.
You know, he has to be held accountable. Like me, I messed up this year. Okay. I spent too much money on stuff.
Okay.
Should have never spent the money on.
Yeah.
So when I reached a certain mark and I looked at my account and I saw I didn't accomplish my goal because I didn't go and do what I was supposed to do.
Right.
I beat myself up.
Yeah.
So I told myself next year, after the aftermath of what I had to go through this year.
Right.
Next year, I'm like, yo, if I'm not reaching this mark by February, yo, I'm not doing nothing for the rest of the year.
Cut back. But it was a mistake. And people, we make mistakes.
It wasn't a mistake.
Okay.
Because it was something you wanted to do.
Okay.
The mistake is like, I would say the mistake is like you getting up and you mistakenly trip over the cord because you didn't see it.
Okay.
No, you saw the cord.
Yeah.
And you intentionally, right.
I got you.
You get what I'm saying?
I got you now.
It's something you could not see and you made a mistake and you ran into whatever it was, right?
Got you.
No. We were sitting up there intentionally, like I'm pulling money out, intentionally planning to do X, Y, Z. No, your intentions was to do this. So this is why I believe in the accountability.
Got you.
You know, being accountable for your actions.
I'm following you.
It's you.
Yeah.
And once you say it's you, then we can get over the hump.
Right.
So that's just like with the positive thinking, changing the paradigm. It's me that's going through. And after, like while I'm going through, oh man, it's me. Oh man, I don't want to do this again. What am I doing? Like, how can I change this around? Oh, I know what I got to do. I got to do this. I got to do that. And then from that, you move on and you become better. Because when you face the situation again, it's not going to even tear you down. You get what I'm saying?
Got you.
And also too, I have forgiveness. Being forgiving. Forgive yourself and move on. Forgive the person and move on.
Have to.
You get what I'm saying?
Love
and then
it.
from there, that can also heal you.
Yeah.
Right? To become positive.
And can you please also add, if you have to forgive someone, they don't need to know that you have to forgive them. Like some people still, they don't know. So it's okay.
What you mean?
Meaning, say if you do something bad to me, I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't forgive you for it. But it's not my responsibility for me to make the phone call to you to tell you I forgive you.
I think it is.
Some cases, you're not able to reach out to that person.
I think it is.
Not 100%.
I think it's necessary.
Not 100%.
You know why?
Not 100%. Go ahead.
And I kind of get what you're saying, but no, that's being, I would say, that's being mature. You get what I'm saying? Stepping out of the comfort zone, because that's the thing with forgiveness. People are arrogant. People may not talk about that, but they are. And some people don't want to receive the answer because then they are held accountable for however they were feeling. Like it's certain things that happened in my past. I tried to ask for forgiveness. The person, when you say, hey, listen, I have text people from what was ever I had to receive from them. Text messages, books. You get what I'm saying? Of text messages of what I did to them. So then when I said to them, hey, can we talk? You know, because now I realize what I did was wrong. Right? So can we talk about it? No response. And even when you put in a text, oh, I don't want to hear nothing from you after I send this text. So the whole time you holding on to that, and now I'm trying to get my opportunity to ask for forgiveness, and so we can have the dialect. They don't want to. Why? Because I personally believe that they know they're going to be responsible, because they still want to hold on to it. So now they're going to be responsible for me understanding I did wrong.
They need to let it go.
Right. And that then they will have to forgive me, and they don't want to. And I learned that years ago. That's why when these women or particular people that brings up people's past, oh, you did this to me. Oh, you, whatever state that was I was in.
Right.
I was immature.
But why people can't let it go?
They can't.
Why people can't let it go?
They thrive off of that negativity.
Why people can't go, DP?
Yeah, I cannot understand, you know, and that's hard to even dissect. So I don't want to defer from that.
Okay.
Right. So the stage that individual is at, right, it happened then. Right. And when it happened, it was like, okay, I was immature. I didn't know better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I only did what I was feeling. Now I know I have to think about what I'm doing before I do it. And now that I have grown up, now I have to be held accountable. But when you as you're bringing it up, that means you haven't forgiven, and you want me to pay for a sin that I did when I was immature. Now, can you learn how to forgive me? And most people will not.
They won't.
I know you got to pay for that, because that stunted my growth as I was growing, right? No, it didn't, because this is not the only thing you went through.
Right. And
This
you
not
choose
the
to
only-
stick there.
Right.
Don't stick there.
Exactly.
Don't.
That's immature.
That's by choice. Now it's by the choices or the options that we spoke about.
Right.
Right.
So that's how, that's how I translate that. And I just, again, when you ask for forgiveness, I think you should sit up there and allow it to be received. That's how I just personally, I really believe that.
I got you.
Go ahead, T.
So just more additional, like also when you was talking, I thought about the power of positivity. It also brings changes. It can bring changes, like you said, from negative to more positivity, more positive. And again, you got to do it every day. So if you know, like you said, that planning, hey, what you got to do? Got to plan it out. Because, honey, I learned some stuff this year, 2022. And it's like, but it keeps you humble. And for me, honestly, God took away my finances for me to be where I'm at right now. The first weekend of December. Because when you have finances, I feel that you on a go. It's no turning back. If you're not responsible with it, you can make poor decisions. And once you learn from the poor decisions, I told myself, when you get that back T, you better not F it up. You better not complain about nothing else. Because it's gonna come back. Money come and goes. But like you said, you did your actions in 2022. I did my actions too in 2022. I try not to think about what others not doing for their responsibility. More reason for me as a single mom why I'm in my debt. Because if others were more responsible and consistent with their responsibilities, I feel also I won't be in a place that I'm at, but it's not my kids' fault. So I still have to provide for them. And look, you'll see T sometime without the nails done. And guess what? It's a reason, because hey, got other responsibilities, and my responsibilities are my kids, to where it is what it is. But nothing to I'm not gonna say, because I got into slight depression recently when finances hit. When you thinking you need to, it goes back to the last episode that we spoke about, that we keep thinking what we want or need, but God will say it's not for you. And once I actually sat down and be like, T, think about the positive that you have. You complaining or you crying out because you want more. But if you actually stop and realize what you have, sweetheart, girl, you should not be complaining. And I'll say, you know what? It goes back to, is your life in danger? It's not. Do you have a roof over your head? I do. Your kids good? Are you still able to put something on the table? I do.
That's a great point.
And so it's just
being appreciative of what you have.
What you have. Yeah. And it all goes now. When I mean, this how this recording looks so clear. My mind is so clear because I'm more tapped in to focus on the positivity of what I have versus me thinking of crying and being depressed of what I don't have or what has not happened. And it's just, it'll happen when it happens.
Right.
And that's it. And it's holiday season. Smile.
Right.
Be happy.
What I was thinking too real quick was saying no. One thing we have to do is learn how to say no.
Yeah.
To people. And I think that's a whole topic within itself, a whole episode within itself, where we have to learn how to say no.
Right.
And with the no comes a lot of clearing out I'm not going to go that way.
Right.
You know, I'm not going to come back to get another no.
Right.
You know, sometimes you just have to say no, and it can clear things up where now the negative that was hovering over you, you're not burdened by it, because we can feel like, shoot, we're obligated to take care of other people's responsibility.
No, I used to be there.
Right. And then you learn, you say real quick, like, listen, man, like, no, I'm not.
Oh my goodness.
I'm not on that type of, I'm not on that type of time.
Right.
So now I'm moving like this. I'm not moving that way. So no, I can't do it. And I had to learn to say that throughout my life.
Right.
Like, no is a word and I can use it.
You can use it.
So I believe that we should learn how to say no.
Right.
Right.
So do you feel that people are moving more in a positive state versus do you feel people moving in a negative state? We know the answer.
Well, I'm gonna say no. I don't know if your answer were very against mine.
It will,
right?
It does.
But I don't.
Go ahead. Why you say
no?
The
reason why is because of social media. It's too much comparison. So we're staying in the rut. Last night I was at a 5,000 role models
ceremony.
Yes.
Okay.
And I saw the young men, and all I said to myself, they don't have a chance.
Wait. So you threw me off. The kids or the
kids,
fathers who were there.
The kids that was there.
Oh wow! Really?
Right.
They don't have a chance.
They don't have a chance.
Oh, do you want to explain why? Why you say that?
I can. So the reason why is because we do the bare minimum when it comes down to these men, these young boys. We don't celebrate them like we celebrate the women, especially in Miami. These young boys are frowned upon. Are already said that they're going to become a statistic. You get what I'm saying? So nobody. What I seen last night, it was very discouraging, but also too motivating, because it made me say, "Shoot, I need to put towards getting things done." So I can be a difference within the community. Yes. Because these young men don't have a chance.
Wow.
The fathers are already frowned upon. Everything is against them. So it hurts the boys.
So I have a question. And I asked my sister this. Why is it that males, not the men, but the grown, why are they in the state of mind to where you're able to be available to the person where you could probably put your penis in, but you're not able to be available for your child? But you could be there for whoever, whatever, if it has nothing to do with the child, but you're there for the person you put your penis in. So why is that? And you're not that person I'm talking about, because you're a man.
I'm not taking it personal.
But can you answer for the grown boys to the little boys,
right,
the males? Okay.
But let's first understand what you're asking.
Okay.
So help me understand.
Meaning, so say you went to the ceremony, right? Hypothetically, if the father's not working, say the father, if fathers are working, you not, baby, I can't come. You know, I got to work and get the money. I got you. We're not including them fathers. But what if that father with his chick, or he in the strip club, he doing whatever the hell he wants to do, and that's not being responsible, but being here for your child, but you here on the other side doing what you want to do.
Right. So what about them? I don't know, because I was there in position of someone else's dad.
Gotcha.
You get what I'm saying? And what about those guys? You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So I was there to hold him, because he really wanted me there.
Yes.
And I was there, and I said, I'm going to show up.
Right.
You know, because I was extremely tight. But I showed up because I understand what that means.
Yes.
He even wanted to, he was walking all proud and all that stuff. Just that. And I said, it hurts me that his dad couldn't be there.
To see his son walk across that stage.
To tie up his tie, because that's what the ceremony was about.
Oh, to tie up the tie.
To get him ready for manhood. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
His dad should have been there. But then what I say is the women make the decision, or have the decision, to allow this guy in. You get what I'm saying? Yes, if women hold a standard to what enter in their body, a lot of men would step up. And also with men, if you stop settling for the women that don't even listen, if they're not even family oriented, what makes you think they're gonna help raise your child up to par?
But what if you in a situation to where that person could have faked it?
Finesse.
Right? I gotta learn that word. What if that person finessed it? Thought, hey, best friend. Hey, you got a mom and a dad. This is your upbringing. This is my upbringing. Oh, we have a lot of compatibility. We have a lot. Oh, cool. Okay. And then lights off. What happens?
I love that question, right? Because you already seen the signs. You just never paid attention to it. You never.
It was some red flags.
If you reflect on any encounter with that individual, they were already showing you the signs.
It were red flags. There were red flags.
Right.
Yeah.
He said something. Listen, I only think a person can finesse but for so long.
For so long. If that's not who they are, it'll go away.
I have a friend of mine. I remember she used to tell me she used to do background checks.
Oh. Wait.
If she was dating a dude, she did a background check because she did not want the dude. I met a CO like that. She told me straight up, I'm finna look you up.
Hello, at least she told you in your face.
Yeah.
At least she told you.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I didn't know.
Right.
And she looked me up too. You get what I'm saying? Because she wanted to make sure I wasn't a pedophile. You know,
Okay.
she was making sure I didn't do robberies.
Got you.
Different things like that. I wasn't no killer low key. I don't know.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? But those things she had to look into, and I think that's important, especially if you got kids and stuff like that.
Right, of course.
So these people have to, because people having kids doesn't mean they don't defile other people's kids. You get what I'm saying?
Facts, which is
so things like that happens. So going back to it, I felt bad for the guys. Now, not saying they don't have a chance, right? But I know, like, because of what I have done in my lifetime, like what I've been around, I know they're gonna frown on us. They're not. Listen, the women are getting their daughters' hair done and forget to get their sons' hair cut. They go and buy the daughters.
I have a boy and a girl. You got to do both.
I know. Right.
I'll be sitting at barbershop going
right. But then, like, let's go down to the clothing. You can make sure she got all colors of sandals, but then only buy him black and white. You don't teach him how to, iron his clothes. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
How to wash his clothes. Not to even be domesticated. You get what I'm saying? Like the girl, I mean, my chick, she sat up there and literally was like, I told her, you need to teach him how to clean like you clean. You get what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
Cook how you cook.
Right.
Move how you move in this regard.
Right.
Stop critiquing him on that. Stop critiquing him on this part and start working on him with this part, because this part will help that part. So you can have your system. And one time he came over here and that boy was cleaning like it was nothing, putting things in order, that. And I was like, if you keep training him this way, he will get to the next level that you want him on, Go ahead.
So for me, my parenting, and I realized it. My daughter, I spoiled her, giving her all of her wants and needs to replace an absent person. Pause, right?
Yep.
My son,
Yep.
I'm teaching him. It's like a reverse of what you just said. So what I learned,
and I'm mad at you that you're doing that.
So what I learned, and is the damage has been done, because 16 years later. So for me, my parenting.
No, not that.
What?
Not what you, keep going. I want you to explain yourself all the way out.
So again, go back, rewind. So daughter, 16, right. But I gave her the word spoiled her because of an absence of, of a person.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me, of a person, right? But was that the right thing to do? No. But on the flip side, when it comes to the son, yes, his dad is hands on there doing a father figure. So now when he's with mommy, okay, now you gotta, I'll do more of, he's more independent than my daughter, if that makes sense.
Yes,
so now
it does.
He's independent because now you're gonna watch mommy bake a cake. You gonna watch mommy cook. You gonna watch mommy cook. Cook and clean. You go and listen. You 5. Okay, now you gotta bathe yourself. Like, he's more independent than what I did to my daughter, only because the absence of another half. Was that the right decision? 60 years later, I've learned no. Right. So I'm doing it the opposite. Well, but it does. Both parents plays a part. Now, can I see myself if my son did not have his father in his life? Would I baby him more? I probably would, because I'm like, he needs more. Let me do it for. Let me keep giving to you because of the absent person who's not there. That's my excuse and my reason.
I understand.
So
I understand.
I see both sides. I experience both sides.
Right, but it's not fair. True. And the reason why I say that is because what you do, and that's what most women do. They spoil their daughters, but then be so rough on their boys, right? And then the boy grows up and resents the mom. And most women don't understand that, because you won't cater to him like you supposed to, being the mom. You get what I'm saying? As you would do with your daughter. You get what I'm saying? So these things are like prevalent. It's in the homes. And this is why I say what I say. I felt bad for the young men. Because now it was over, if I'm not mistaken, it probably was over 90 of them little jokers.
90 kids?
Yes, 90 young men, right? Okay. Sorry. So it was about 90 of the young men, and not even half of their dad was there.
Is it because they were at work?
I don't care if they was at work, they was shining shoes, they was whatever on the skyscraper. They should have been there for their child.
But what if they're not able to get off?
Now, that's why I say half.
Okay.
Maybe not all.
Not all. Okay.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm just saying, the dad should have been there. Even if it was the stepdad, they should have been there because it's important.
Right.
But they would have been there if it was a football game or a basketball game. They would have took off for that. And that's what I'm talking about. You got the dads in the stands at the football game, but stuff that's educational that would take them to the next level, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's what you're talking about. Makes perfect sense.
It wouldn't have been half. It would have been almost all of them.
So again, where's their mindset?
Only excuse I got is if the dad was dead. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. You can't help that.
Right.
But I believe the rest assured that these guys would have been there if their dad was alive. Yeah. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel.
We gotta make a change.
I think we should invest in the boys as much as in the young ladies.
Yes.
Because the young ladies nowadays, they're up there. Like you can see them walking around feeling like they are.
Listen, I had a kid today in class. When I mean this young girl was going off on this boy and he bowed down to her, and I had to turn the lights on because the video was going on. But I had to turn the lights on during the video because I just didn't know how far she would have went with her words. And when I mean she was like an alpha over him and he kind of squinting there, I was like, let me turn the lights on so he could see her facial expression, so he could see her body language, because I could hear the words in the dark while we watching this video. But Miss T got up, I turned the lights on. I was like, what's happening? And when I mean this happening, I'm seeing this more. So I'm just adding to I see it more.
Right.
I see it more. And I'm the mom who has a son, And trust me, he still got this mama old school. Let me tell you behind something. This how you still treat a woman. So I'm still the old school. But nowadays, it's these girls, young girls out here, they alphas. But where they get it from?
They get it from the mom and what they see out in the world now. And then once men start stepping in place, the real men start stepping in place. Cause you got some foo-foo guys out here.
What is foo-foo? I don't know what. Foolish. Okay.
Yeah, guys that think they're men and they're not. You know, foolishness. You get what I'm saying? They are not the representative for the real men. You know but anyway. Okay. You know,
gotcha.
As far as what you were saying, as far as the young lady, woofing up to blow on a young man. I always said this because I have seen it before. I say you only doing that now because you're maturing a little bit quicker than he is. But I bet you won't do that 10 years from now. See, you have the advantage now, and that's the problem. You think that you're gonna have it for the rest of your life, and you're not.
You know,
when a young boy, that young boy is going to be a man at one point,
and he was smaller size than her.
That's now today.
Yep.
And he hasn't gone through his growth spurts.
Right.
I knew some twins that was at my church, and they was getting on their young brother, right? Their baby brother, right? And I told them straight up, y'all only doing that now. But when he gets of age, y'all gonna have to look up to him. And y'all not gonna be able to control him like that, right? Sure enough, one day I saw him walk in the church. He got tall now.
Hello.
He said, "Let's go, everybody move." Just like that. You get what I'm saying? So it happens.
Right.
You can do that now. You can bully him now, but when he gets of age, and that's the thing, men need to know that these young men need to know that you are men. You will become a man. You will be strong. You don't have to fold underneath a female. You should have got up and walk away. Listen, I ain't finna deal with that. But this is all a part of the maturity. We have gone way off the subject, T.
I was going back to the power of positivity based off the scenario you just gave about the young man at the church. Because here it is, if I'm small and you're taking ass, you just whatever, right? You're molding me for me to be this person, for me to say what you said. You said let's go or move, and now they move. But what if you was the positive person? While I was younger, I'll probably just be more respectful, and even though I'm growing taller than you, my demeanor might not be as, not to say that was negative, but it probably won't be as aggressive.
He has to walk in his masculinity, regardless of how you may feel as, and that's the thing, women soften things. Men are gonna just be assertive of heart. Okay. You know, and I'm talking about manly men. He wasn't walking around trying to flex his muscles. Okay. He was just literally like, let's go. I'm ready to go. Okay. And they move exactly when he said it.
Right. But they still older, right?
Yeah, they're older, but he's bigger.
And now he's bigger.
You get what I'm saying? He's growing into becoming a man. He's not even 18. I think he's 18, about to turn 19 pretty soon. I don't know. But I just know that that's that transition that happens in a young man's life. Okay. So to kind of close this out, because we went way to the left.
So to close it, what are you thinking about right now?
How T is looking in her phone instead of paying attention.
That was the end of the question. Yeah. That's how I started it. Don't do that. Don't you come for me.
Don't come for me.
Don't you come for me on this beautiful first weekend of December.
No, T, you got to say it right.
What?
Don't you come for me unless I send for you. Somebody told me that. I said, okay, I won't be coming.
God dang it, don't come for me.
Okay.
God dang it. Okay, going back to my notes.
Go ahead.
God dang it.
So what I'm thinking about,
what do you think about right now?
What I'm thinking about is changing the paradigm.
Okay.
Changing the temperature.
Yes.
You know, of what's going on. You know, and how can I become, like, just what I can do on a day-to-day basis to make sure I end on a positive note. Yeah. You know, so that's what actually I'm thinking about. Like, you know, I was telling myself, like, even earlier this week, I gotta, especially yesterday.
All right.
Man, I gotta do something. you know, I gotta have an effect. Even I saw a principal out there I knew. She knew me as I was growing up.
Okay.
And she's like, hey, listen, I need to get you as a mentor.
All right.
You know, and I didn't even just think of me.
You didn't tell about Geminis Gemz and how we could come out to the school?
Let me finish.
Sorry.
Right? So I started because I was thinking about the men.
Okay.
Right?
All right.
So the different aces that I did bring,
okay,
I was thinking about like bringing all of us, because what I didn't want was females involved, because they always experience their mothers. Right. So these men needs to experience men, because they was even trying to tell the young men to look at the men in front of them, and they couldn't even do it.
They were looking at the moms.
No, they was just looking around each other, both men and the young men.
They couldn't do eye to eye.
Right. And that's the problem. We are not able to focus on our task, because we are worried about how they may feel, and you know, this not my child and stuff like that. You were supposed to try to get to know the young man. Hey, what you're doing? We don't even know how to communicate back and forth. So to change that, we first need to know that we can do it, and move that way without women getting involved.
Without the women getting involved. Okay.
You get what I'm saying? Because I remember when it was 500 role models.
Yeah.
I remember it was nothing but straight guys. It was no females in it.
At the ceremonies or anything?
I'm talking about as far as getting the young men together and making it happen. I don't even recall women being involved.
Oh, I don't have no experience, so I don't know anything about the five.
But I found out like last night, it was one of the principals, a lady. She saw she wanted to reach a young man, and how could she do it? So she started the 500 at the time role models.
Wow.
So I believe that, you know, good that she started it, but it should be a man to oversee that thing, make it organized, and women should be aside, because y'all always a part of everything to me. And there's nothing wrong, but sometimes get your hands off of certain things. Even if you birthed it, let it go.
You have to.
You know?
I learned it. I'm happy. I let that 5-year-old go. Oh, trust and believe and listen, go.
I think that's the best move you will make as a mom.
I let it go. It feels so good.
Because you're not going to lose your son.
No. Right.
He already know where he belongs.
Yeah, that was my fear.
No.
That was my fear.
Trust me when I say.
Yeah.
Hear me when I say.
Yes.
A man will never forget his mother. And that's one thing you don't have to worry about. It don't matter where he goes in life.
Right.
He's always going to remember mama.
Right.
He'll forget daddy.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
He'll forget daddy, no.
Yeah, he will. He'll forget daddy for 2 hours, 2 or 3 hours.
But mommy?
No. It's hard to forget mama.
Okay.
Regardless.
Yeah.
Because I've heard some moms say, man, I wish you were dead and not my other child type stuff. But that guy still loves his mom unconditionally. You get what I'm saying? So men are different. You know, so don't ever think that ever drop. That will never separate or drop away. He will always remember.
All right,
y'all. So,
that was nice.
Yeah,
you let it out. A change is going to come.
No,
a change.
I didn't let it out because
a change is going
I have a heart for the young men.
Yeah,
especially in my I want to say in my demographic, right? So the guys that I come in contact with, or you know, the young men, like I believe in them. You know, I believe that they can be more than what they see themselves, but they have to see themselves in a higher light. But the only way is if someone shines the light.
Yeah. That's what most males that I facilitate my curriculum with, they be like, Miss T, you telling me this, but I still don't have a male or a father to be the example or to show me how to do X, Y, and Z. And
so most young men usually wait till they go to prison to experience a dead life. And that's the craziest methodology
we had to do a change.
Ever.
We're going to do a change.
Why the deacon's not in the church?
Oh, boy. A change is going to come. It's going to happen.
Unless we make it.
It's going to happen.
So turning that negative into positive, right?
Hey.
So we dropping on that note.
Power
y'all
of
make sure y'all
positivity.
like. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all like,
All right
comment,
now.
subscribe,
Yes.
and all that good stuff.
All right.
I'm your boy DP.
Hello.
This my girl T.
Hey.
And we Gemini Gems.
Yes.
That's Geminis with the S.
Yes.
Gems with the Z.
See.
And what we do, T?
Hey y'all, we dropped them gems.
We drop them gems,
Yes. Hi December. Welcome.
y'all. All right, y'all.
All
Y'all
right.
have a good one.
See ya.
All right.